The next activity ratio is debtors turnover ratio. Now students, this ratio is calculated as net sales upon average debtors. Students, net sales upon average debtors is the actual measure of calculating debtors turnover ratio. But here just remember one thing, that debtors arise on account of credit sales. That is, in cash sales there is no concept of debtors because payment is received in cash at the same moment when the sale is effected. So in case you are given credit sales, then the preference must be given to credit sales. So we should write net credit sales upon average receivables. So students, in case credit sales are given, you must prefer credit sales. Here we have replaced this denominator by average receivables. That means it includes all kinds of receivables, that is debtors as well as bills receivables are also included here. This gives a better measure. In case it is not given, then you can always move ahead with the upper formula, that is net sales upon average debtors. Now students, what does this ratio actually tell us? This particular ratio, debtors turnover ratio, actually gives a clear indication of how fast the debtors are collected. That is, how fast cash is recovered from debtors Students, once we make credit sales, we have to receive money from debtors, and you cannot be in any way lacking, or you should not lag behind in collecting that money. There are chances of going them bad, or you would require a higher amount of working capital in case you don't collect your debtors on time. So this ratio tells us that how fast we are able to recover cash from our debtors. It also gives us a measure of quality of debtors, about the quality of debtors and the efforts of the enterprise to recover debts. It tells us about the quality. That means the persons to whom we have sold goods on credit, whether they are good people, they are credit worthy people, whether they are paying them on time or not. This can be judged through this ratio. Then it also tells you about the efforts that your sales team or your collection team is actually putting into for recovering your credit sales or the amount due from debtors. So now students, let us understand this ratio by taking certain examples. But before we do that, let us actually understand the various components. In this case, or in this ratio, the numerator was credit sales. So how do we calculate credit sales? Net credit sales, they are equal to net sales minus cash sales. Then students, the denominator was average accounts receivable. This is equal to opening debtors plus closing debtors in case bills receivable are also there, then opening BR plus closing bills receivable or BR, the sum total of all these 4 divided by 2. In case bills receivable are not given, you can ignore them.